So I think Indianapolis is such like a slept-on host city when it comes to major events. I mean, we have the Combine, we have the NBA All-Star Game coming, men's Final Four, and then the CFP Natty coming. So I just want to know what you think that the X factor is that Indianapolis has that secures these huge sporting events in our time.
Here it is, Alex. Here, and great question, by the way. And this is kind of what started a beef between the city of Indianapolis and the state of Indiana and Yahoo, because a guy from Yahoo Sports, I think you broke the ice over here. By the way. Yeah, I can't even. I mean, it's starting to peel apart over here with you. Hey, boys, hockey's back.
You need to get the Zambone out there for us.
I think this is what started the beef with Indianapolis and that Yahoo guy who said that the NBA All-Star Game being in Indianapolis next year is basically like he said it was terrible or something. Who would ever want to go to Indianapolis and everything like that? The thing about Indianapolis is the things you see on television that we host, whether it's the Big Ten championships in football and in basketball, the Final Four in men's basketball and women's basketball, the Combine yearly, the Super Bowl was here every single week. Now, obviously not during the quarantine. We have this massive convention center also that just takes over with thousands and thousands of people coming into our city basically weekly. And the Indianapolis 500 has 300 to 400,000 people come into the city every single year. And the reason why Indianapolis is so good is because everything is conveniently located. Everything is walkable. Everything's clean. The stadium is connected to the convention center, which is basically right across the street from all the restaurants, the bars, and the hotels. Everything is walkable. And the humans of Indiana, Hoosier hospitality is a real thing. It's a host city, and the people take a lot of pride in that. Whether it's the bartenders at the bars, the owners of the restaurants, the waiters, the waitresses, the servers, everything like that, the people around town, it is a very welcoming city. And that is why you see so many massive events being hosted in a city that you would never expect, Indianapolis, Indiana, because this city is literally and figuratively built to host things, and Hoosier hospitality is a real thing. And I think that's a pretty accurate statement for people that aren't from here, like me, that come to Indianapolis. You're like, damn, everything's walkable, everything's connected. You can be in a 70,000 seat stadium, take a 4-minute walk, and now you're in a convention center that can house tens of thousands of people. It's just every single year there's something. What's that nerd fest that comes in here?
Gen Con.
PopCon, Gen Con come through here, and the entire city shuts down with humans in costumes. You go to a club during these things, and you think you're at a furry convention. They're just getting after it down there with little costumes on and stuff like that. But the clubs turn in for it. The restaurants shut down for it. I mean, it's just the city is ready for people to come. And by the way, that's a city that you should be looking for when you're talking about hosting or hubbing this NHL playoff. Like Las Vegas is a host city. That's what it is. A lot of people come into town. They're good at shutting down restaurants. They're good at moving things like that. Pittsburgh has never been known as a hospitable place or an easy to navigate place. But if Pittsburgh is potentially a home spot for one of these conferences, I'm going to be there in a hazmat suit. That is just what's going to happen. So that's why Indianapolis gets all these contracts, I do believe.
Yeah, it's great for one weekend.
Come on, Indianapolis is the crossroads of America, Tony. Come on.
Diggs lives here. Diggs lives here. It does get it.
I kid.
No, but there's differences. There's differences. When you go out in Pittsburgh, it's all Pittsburghers out. So you know what's going to happen. Okay, a lot of Italians are out. There's a lot of affliction out. You know, about 2, 3 a.m., you need to keep your head on a swivel out there. That's what when you go out in Indianapolis, you have no clue where these people are from. It could be the future farmers of America that are waltzing around town. People. You have no idea. Out there in Iowa, they're just a slew of blue jackets just stumbling around. It's like, what the hell's going on? Oh, the farmers are in town this week. And then a week later, Black Expo's happening, which is the largest African-American expo that happens in America, happens in our city. It's just like the diversity of what hosts here in India. And then the Indy 500 is a bunch of literal cars that go 7,000 miles an hour with a lot of European and foreign influence. There it is. Hey, good job. Bingo there, Diggs. Influence. But then in the infield, you have 100,000 17 and 18-year-olds at a rave. It's just the diversity and the ability to house and host everything in Indianapolis is why Indianapolis is a real great host city. And I wish they had more ice rinks. because I do believe this would be a great place for the NHL to potentially have a hub, because hotels are all conveniently located, restaurants are conveniently located. If somehow they could just put up some rinks on the roofs.
You probably could, right? Like, they don't need like a massive stadium at all. They just need the actual ice rink itself, right?
Because it's not about the fans anyways. It's not like, hey, there's any diehard fans here in Indianapolis of hockey, which I think this place would love the NHL if they had a team that was worth a damn. Like, if the team sucked, it's like, okay, you keep it moving. But if it had a team that was worth it, I think this city would love it. It'd be nice if maybe we just build a couple rinks and then we pitch Gary Bettman like, how about Indianapolis?
Yeah.